Okay, so this is a request for me to do, and guys, y'all are catching this during Halloween time, so, and I ain't taking it down because I kind of feel like, hey, it ain't nothing to it but to do it. I'm being real. I'm feeling like being a little authentic. But anyway, so this is a request, and this particular request was asked for me to do the signs in each house, and I'm starting with the sign of Aries. Okay. And my whole theme with this is the theme of what we go to war with, okay? What we lead with, the energy that we lead with, and the way that it comes towards us, the way that we approach. That is pretty much the overall theme that I have with doing Aries to the houses. So you guys go check out each house. I'm not making anything official. This is just what comes to me. And another thing, also, I'm going to put for each house what we go to war with, or what you're going to war with when you find Aries in that particular house. Okay, it's just like the energy that we battle with, pretty much, and how it plays out. And I don't have that much time to do this in, so I'm not going to cover everything. Feel free to comment and add what you want, that you feel like, hey, this, I feel like this is true for the first house, this is true for the second house, fifth, sixth, seventh, it doesn't matter. And what you feel like you go to war with, where you see Aries at inside of your chart in your houses. Okay, so I'm gonna do all 12 houses on this one video, and I'll put the timestamps, so go check it out. All right. Okay, so Aries in the first house. Okay, so Aries, if you're a person that has Aries in your first house, then you're, first of all, a bold person. You are assertive in nature, confident, quick, can be easy to temper. So there could be, you could find yourself getting angry or mad or upset or frustrated, especially if you feel like people are going against you, or you're fighting for you. You're fighting to be yourself. You are temperamental a lot of times, and people can see that as, you being argumentative or aggressive. But no, it's like you're passionate, a very passionate person, and you believe in what it is, like you yourself, how you approach life. And I feel like a lot of people feel like it's fake confidence or false confidence. It depends. It depends on your sun, and other placements, if that's going to be true or not. But typically, you're the type of person, with Aries in your first house, it doesn't matter if there's something that you lack confidence in a certain area, in a certain approach, you're going to do it anyways. Like I said, you can, other people can find that to be confrontational in nature. But however, so even if you're not these things, you don't really feel these things, you can appear to be these things to other people. So you could just be like, what? I'm confident, or what? Aggressive. I'm not even doing anything. And people are just like, no, you appear that way. So they could be right, they could be wrong. So this brings you to a place where you have a competitive nature to yourself. You feel that in life you could view the world as a competitive world, a competitive space. And you, even if you have to develop this confidence to assert yourself, you will, because you feel like that's the approach. It's either you're going to get up there, you're going to compete like you should or you need to in the world, or you're going to miss chances and opportunities and miss out in life, or, get beat, be defeated. I will admit, a lot of you guys could be energetically ganged up on, whether this is people dead on straightforward ganging up on you and letting it be known, or they're passively aggressively doing it. You can feel ganged up on, and that could be why you approach like you do, in a direct competitive manner, because you could feel that that's how you have to be in order to outsmart these, this ganging up on these people that, whereas, well, I don't feel like they can necessarily stop you, but as an Aries in the first house, your direction, your assertion, how you view things is what lets you surpass these blocks when it comes to other people. And you got to look at it because the first house is opposite the seventh house. And that's where the other people come in at. And sometimes people can look at you as needing to be the leader, or they rebel against you. And you could just be like, I don't understand why you're going against what it is that I'm saying for no reason. But yeah, you could definitely be, some of you guys could be really good debaters as well. You could be sporadic, okay, and you could be quick to react and quick to respond. And this is after time again of feeling like you have to defend yourself. So sporadic movements, rushing to do stuff, you have to watch out because it can cause you stuff to where you're getting injured or where you're reacting and it affects you in a negative way, so on and so on. All right. And a lot of you guys could be athletic too. You could be athletic in nature. And I feel like what could hold you back from pursuing something athletic or something adventurous, having adventures in life, it could be other people. It could be like how you're viewing yourself, because since you're competitive, you can measure yourself up against other people a lot. However, a lot of you guys are pretty bold and pretty confident. So if it's something you find interesting, you're going to typically try to go after it. Depending on your sun sign, depends on whether you're going to stay dedicated to it or not. So like if you're a Taurus sun, you might try something. Let's say you try to play volleyball or whatever your interest is. You're going to, because you could typically be involved in competitive sports, like something competitive or argumentative or debating or whatever. But let's say you're a Taurus, you possibly would stick with something or stay committed with something longer and work at it than if you were, say, an Aquarius or something. That's just throwing it out there. You could be stylish and you could be a trendsetter. So if there is something that you feel drawn to, or you feel like that's true to you or represents you, and you want to wear it or you want to be affiliated with it, don't stop yourself just because you feel that other people don't agree, or baby, they just can't pull it off like you. Okay, so this is Aries through the first house. Thank you for joining me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back doing the rest of the signs. All right, so Aries in the second house. Okay, so you are into material possessions. Yeah. So you could be possibly the person, and this is not all and limited to, but you could be like the person that has like the name brand or the designer bags or material goods, cars, whatever. Possessions, state of the art, stuff, however, top of the line, or you go for that. And if it's not that you go for the top of the line stuff, you can go for your comfort area. So it just depends. So let's say you're making middle class earnings. You will fit comfortably in that middle class. You get what I'm saying? It just depends on where you're at. So you could be the first to gain certain possessions that maybe you didn't receive earlier on in life. Because let's say your family, your parents could have been frugal, or maybe just couldn't afford certain things, or maybe wasn't interested. I know a lot of people who they don't have the money and the finances to drive certain cars, whatever the case may be, and they don't do it. Live in certain homes, they don't do it because they're like, no, I'd rather put my money on something else. I'd rather help my kids. I'd rather help my grandkids. I'd rather invest. I'd rather save, whatever the case may be. So it just depends, However, you could be someone that's like, either you got yourself to a position to where you see that, this is the lifestyle I want to live. I want to live differently than that. So you might put yourself in a position where you can acquire more, or a different type of way that you look at things. So let's say when you were younger and you're just like, I want to be able to buy the type of clothes I want, and I don't want to feel like I can't, or like I don't deserve them or deserve things. So you're going to do things to put yourself in a position to get the type of clothing that you feel like you deserve. because that's what it's all about. And this is just in material or physical possessions, period. It doesn't matter how large, it doesn't matter how small. So we're not going to get caught up into that. So you can definitely, in order to acquire these types of things, you can definitely be seen as a go-getter. Once you're set on something, or like you have your mind set on something, or you feel like you want to obtain something, that's pretty much what you're going to go after. And you're not going to stop yourself from doing it. So people can see you as a go-getter. And even more so, I can see this in the 10th house as well, but here, I definitely see it. Because here, slow and steady wins the race as well, and there's, and depending on what else is going on in your chart, there could be less blockages to get in there. It's just all about doing the work over time, getting what you want, how you were raised versus you breaking free from that, all of that type of stuff. Okay. It's definitely here in the 2nd house. So that's why you can be seen as a go-getter. And this, you can have high levels of confidence and self-worth. Or if you suffered from not having that, being raised, the 2nd house is how we're raised. You want to break that cycling of events for your kids. Now be careful, because yes, you can get looped up in not breaking those cycling of events, depending on how traumatic life was for you. But however, I feel like if you did have to overcome something significant, it's like you mustered up that strength. You have that desire to overcome and to not be what you were raised as, unless it was something that you felt like. Because some of you guys, you could have, let's say you had a fine upbringing. And maybe if you didn't, it doesn't matter, because people repeat cycles. But I'm just saying, let's say you did. Let's say that you were just like, okay, my parents taught me that I was worth more in life. They provided that for me, and that's something I want to maintain. So that could definitely be there. Or it could be something that as you grow up or you start experiencing life, and then you see yourself accomplish this one thing or another thing, and you're like, man, that, I can accomplish these things. Look at what I did. Look at what I gave for myself. That could build self-confidence and self-worth as well. And even if you don't have that, other people feel like you do. Like I told that to Aries in the 1st house, but they can also feel like you're material seeking, like you're a materialist or something, even if you're just like a person. Y'all, I know y'all know what I'm talking about, because I've experienced that type of judgment in my life with not even having Aries in the 2nd house. And people are like, well, why would you get that when you can get this first, or you can do that? And it's like, because I didn't want to. I wanted to get what it was that I wanted to get. So you consistently grow over time because of this. And you want to be persistent in life towards short-term aspirations. Now, 10th house, long-term aspirations. Short-term aspirations is not bad. You could be the person that's like, well, I want to, put this stack of money on this nice car. Did I buy a house yet? Maybe, maybe not. But I want this car. That's short-term aspirations. But then you get that and you set your sight on another aspiration. Or maybe that's the only one that you have. But you can do a series of smaller aspirations that leads to this overall bigger picture. That's why I like 2nd house. Okay? Versus 10th in certain instances. It's not necessarily, there's got to be big money or grand or nothing. This could be something personal aspirations to yourself. So I will say this. Sometimes it could seem like you're going to war, or that you're going to war with this, because let's go back to using the car as an example. Let's say you get a nice luxury vehicle, but somebody else, like your partner or your parents or your child, other people in your life, or just society might be like, oh, well, why didn't you do this over here first? And it's like this conflict. It's like this war. It's like, man, why do I gotta keep going to war for something, or for things that I value in life? Like, why does it bother you? Okay, so this has been Aries in the 2nd house. Yeah, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back. Aries in the 3rd house. is loves finding and exploring information. And guys, this is a pretty powerful house to have Aries in, Mars in, for the simple fact that it's the third house. And let me tell you something, what people don't understand, even though they know it and they hear it, knowledge is power. Like, there's so much that you can do with information. It's so far that you can get. Because as long as you have information, you can sell it and you can make more money. You can build off of it, however the case may be. So you're quick to learn new things and will keep trying until you understand things that you don't understand. So people could look at you as highly intelligent, smart, the go-to person. They could possibly see you as a little bit gossipy as well. But it just depends, because you could be quick to find out stuff and communicate stuff. You could be the first person. You could be the one that's like, oh, I'm the first person I want to be the first person to get this information out or this news out. Or, so be careful with that, because you don't want to be taking in all types of information at the same time, because it could be pointless. Well, not pointless, but it could not benefit you, So take the time to check and make sure that you're not just responding to things. You're not just reacting to things. You're not just putting out gossip out there or whatever, just because to be like the person that wins and getting this information out or that information out. But still, you're highly intelligent. So, and people know that. They might come to you to be like, oh yeah, let's go to this person because they're going to have this answer, that the answer. You could be popular in your immediate environments as well. Like, you could be very familiar with your neighbors or around your area, the place that you grew up in. If you move away, you come back, people know you. And going back to the whole reactive thing, you could be more about actions and less about communication, or a combination. So people tick you off, you get mad, you could be like, yeah, man, whatever. It's like nothing to it but to do it, So that could make you reactive. Like I said, so be careful with just reacting to stuff that you hear, because depending on who knows you, a lot of people can know you. Like, they can know your business or whatever. You know a lot of other people's business, and you know how that can get sometimes. Like, them just fighting words. You are quick-witted and thoughtful. And to be honest with you, you can just beat people with your words. Okay? You can also use information that you know about people against them, or like to read them their rights. But you're definitely quick-witted, smart, intelligent, bright. Sometimes you can think negative. I like with Aries here, okay, you can overcome your negative thinking, but it just depends on other placements that you have. So you could be like the firstborn, but at the most can be the first out of siblings to achieve things in life or to think differently. Remember what I go back to saying, knowledge is power. So with stuff that you learn, you can take it and change your life or do things different than like your siblings or how you were raised. Sometimes people can take an issue with that. That can make you feel outcasted or misunderstood when you're just like, no, I just don't believe certain things that y'all believe. Or with your information, you could be like the trendsetter. Your family can look up to you, your siblings, because they could be like, man, this person is on to something. You can be busy in your immediate environment and popular. Okay, I said that, in your local community environment. So you could go to war with your neighbors. You go in the war with your neighbors or fight with what was taught while being raised versus embracing new information. Okay, so this would be, because each house I'm wanting to identify what you could possibly go to war with, because sign of Aries, war. And if you're going to be going to war with your neighbors, even your own mind. So sometimes maybe you can want to block certain things out that is unfamiliar to you. Vice versa, but You could come in, guys, just telling this quick story. This one neighborhood, one of my friends lives in this neighborhood, like a wealthy neighborhood, but it's like it's not modern. It's like reconstruction. A lot of the homes in this neighborhood. So they're preserving a lot of the history in this houses and neighborhoods. But, my friend, she was so mad because a neighbor moved in that completely remodeled that the home and moved into her neighbor moved in to the house beside her, completely remodeled it. I mean, it's so modern. It has it's like they literally tore down the house and just constructed a modern home, and it has like the LED lights and all that. They hate it. She hates it so much. Okay, I look at that person with the modern home built from scratch as the Aries in the third house person, because now it's like all the neighbors want to go to war. People talk about them because they're like, oh my gosh, why are you messing up the neighborhood and this look and this vibe that we want with that mess? But does the person have a right to live there? Yeah, because they had the money to pay for it. Okay. So yeah, embrace new information, be cool with your individuality and go off. Like, be you. Allow what you learned that you find beneficial transform you, or like make your life, change your life for the better. Break you free from limitation. All right, so thank you. This has been Aries in the third house. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back. Okay, so Aries in the fourth house. Okay, so Aries in the fourth house can be emotionally reactive. Okay, so you can definitely be an emotional person, and you react in that way with your emotions. You like to feel secure, so you seek security. You can move away from home or your hometown to embrace different paths and parts of life, especially if you feel like that place where you're at does not provide security for you and you've outgrown it and you're feeling like you're being held back. Because Aries is sitting here, you're able to break free from a lot of limitations. Or you might be, maybe your parent or something is in a position like in the military or something like that causes you to move away and have different experiences, and it could just be hard to pinpoint security. And when you get older, or you take life into your own hands, you could possibly seek out security. Like, what makes you feel secure? That's what you depend on. That's what you lean on. Now, I've also seen the other side to this with Aries in the fourth house individuals that are really attached to their family and their hometown, and they tend to leave. They come back to it. They feel secure around family. They can live not too far from family. I've seen it either or. And your family can look towards you as like this. And it's interesting because you can go to war with them. You can be like combative with them, but at the same time, they look towards you as like a sanction almost. They want you around. Let's just say that. So they can depend on you a lot. You could be good in real estate practices or decorating a home, like to spend a lot of time in home. You can find that you thrive in your home and with family or having a family or something like that, because that's where security lies. So you can be someone that invests a lot of time in your home or family life. Even though I said that already, but I'm saying like in your home environment as well. Remodeling, decorating, real estate, selling, things dealing with home, even family. And when I say family, I mean like some of you guys can be like family counselors, therapists, foster mothers, godmothers, the auntie, the favorite auntie, the favorite uncle. So you can seek to make environments feel like home or family. So places that you go, you don't really feel comfortable if you're not secure, like you're not familiar with your environment. You could just feel out of place, or you just feel like you can't get comfortable. But places where, or you may be, so let's say you have a vacation home, or you go somewhere, you staying in an Airbnb. You don't really feel comfortable unless you're like bringing elements or items or something there that that you feel secure with. Let's say you take your blankets because you're like, I can't sleep on those blankets there, that place. I don't know where they've been. And so you bring your blankets and your towels and your soaps and your candles, or things that you can bring to make this other place feel familiar and secure, like your home environment. Because let's not play. You would prefer to be at home. You would prefer to be somewhere where it feels right. So you could feel comfortable at home and love being at home. You can be the first in your family to set trends or accomplish something special that's different from what everybody else is doing. And this could be why you're popular amongst them, or this could be why you might have jealousy or something like that. But typically you're valued for what it is that you can bring, or like what the special qualities that you have. Because, and I'm going to say this too, Aries in the 4th house, other people feel like they're at home with you. Like you're their comfort zone. Okay. They feel comfortable. They feel at home with you. You can make people feel comfortable in like family. You can make bold statements around the home. So you can be you do things different. You can express yourself through the pieces and the type of home that you have. You could be like the person that makes the decisions in your family as well. Like they look towards you to make these decisions and be the decision maker. But you can war with family, and you go to war with your family, or like your own emotions, or it keeps feeling like you're going to war with security. Like, well, where you look to find security, there's always some sort of disturbance. And that could be something where you feel like there's a constant battle. You could be extremely sensitive and emotional or sensitive. Even if you don't show your emotions, you might show your sensitivity. So things that maybe people are joking about or they play about, you don't play about. Okay, you don't play about. And you can have a closeness with your mother. Now, this is the thing. It's the 4th house of Cancer. I seen anything dealing with Cancer in the mother, I seen go a couple different ways. One way is it could go extremely good. You can have a closeness with your mother, or your mother has some sort of attachment with you, or you resemble a lot of your traits of your mother, or whoever played that role. Or it could be bad, not good relationships with the mother being overly codependent on you and emotionally manipulative and that sort of thing as well. As a matter of fact, you may find people in your life, mother or not, that tries to emotionally manipulate you to get you, think about it, Aries, but to get you to do what they want. So you can sometimes feel that you were abused, like people emotionally abuse you, or when it's like sometimes you don't know, your emotions could be, you could get mad or whatever, and be sensitive, and you don't really know how to apply or your assertiveness. And I kind of feel like the best way to do it is to not deny your emotions, but respond differently and like have your feelings, even if it's personal to you. Like even if you got to go home and cry about something, or if you feel that you want to express something, like your feelings were hurt or whatever was happening to you, don't shy away from that, because what happens is it just allows you to therapeutically work through a lot of those strong, intense emotions that you could not want to face, or you could let block you, or we want to humanize yourself. And I'm not saying that you can't or you don't, but typically this what happens, it builds your confidence and you're able to be more assertive. Sometimes when you move emotions out the way, you see that it was other people's emotions and not necessarily your own that's stopping you. Okay, so thank you. This has been Aries in the 4th house. And please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back. Aries in the 5th house, you're unique and creative. You can be expressive and passionate about who you are. Excellent self-expression. It depends, because how some people feel like passionate expression is aggressive and forceful, so it just depends. You can have a huge, big heart. You can gamble and take risk when you don't need to or whatever, but that's what's also great about you, because you can take risks when other people are afraid to. Okay, but you could definitely be expressive, and you could definitely speak your heart and speak your mind. So you have a way with the way you express yourself. Sometimes you can speak what other people were thinking or feeling, but they're not brave enough to. And a lot of you can just be brave to be yourself. All right, and this is where you can go to war, sometimes with your confidence as well too. Especially when you feel that other people don't understand who you are and what you're trying to express or represent. So you can be unique or different from others in your family as well. And young at heart, or look younger than your age. Because there's something about you that maintains a certain youthfulness about yourself and your energy. And this keeps love and relationships young, fresh, interactive, fun. So a lot of people could want to date you or want to be in love with you, even if you don't know it. Even if you don't know it, you could be rebellious. So you can have this rebellious nature about yourself with the way you represent yourself. You could be the type of person where you see a bunch of other people doing group stuff or looking like each other, and you're just like, nah, I just want to look like myself. You can love attention, especially for what you love to do. And I don't think it depends on the sun sign too, because I kind of feel like the attention factor is you want to be, not that you want people just to go out their way all the time and just be like, oh, look at you, but you do. When it comes to certain things, you want people to understand and recognize what you bring to the table, what you represent and what it's about, and yeah, I kind of feel like with the rebellious nature, you don't care if they like it or not, but because you could be that type of person to where people don't gotta be telling you that you look good. They might just naturally notice you. And you could be skilled at multiple things and have multiple talents. You could be seen as someone that is extremely talented. And you would be the type of person that actually do those things, polish up your skills. There's some people that have talent. They never try to do the thing they're talented in because it could be too risky, or they don't, it's different reasons. It's like, oh, I outgrown this, I outgrown that. You don't allow that to stop you, so you can actually be someone that makes money off of the talents that you have. You are a creative trendsetter, so you set trends and you motivate people. I kind of feel like there's a self-motivation there too. You can, by you being yourself and not being afraid to, you motivate others to be able to be themselves. Not that they have to imitate and copy you, but they could. That could be a part. But you motivate other people to be themselves. They around you, they can feel creative, and they shouldn't fear being who they are and expressing themselves. And you may feel that you have to go to war to be your unique self, like I said already. Because people might want to be like, oh, well, aren't you this age or that age? Shouldn't you be looking this way or that way? Or shouldn't you be mature? Or shouldn't you be past this thing and that thing? And you're like, let me live my life. You're just living your life, you know? So children, teens can love you, and you may work well with them. You may work really well with kids. And you have that youthful energy and that attractiveness. You could definitely be really attractive as well. So yeah, just be careful with taking unnecessary risk in life. Right? Okay, so thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back. So we have Aries in the 6th house. You could be seen as a hard worker. You could take on the responsibilities of other people as well. So, and I think that sometimes this is really natural, because you could feel that you like helping other people. Like you could feel alive, or you could feel useful when you help other people. We're not going to take away from the fact that people can use you because of this. And I don't know, it depends on the person that you are. Because when you were younger, maybe your parents could get you to do stuff that the other kids, they couldn't depend on the other kids to do. So you find yourself, doing things, and having responsibilities that maybe you weren't ready for, or you did not really want to give permission to take on. However, you could feel, and that could be something that aids into the fact that if you're not doing for others, then you're not feeling useful. You don't know what to identify with. And this could put you in tricky situations, especially if you feel like in romantic relationships or love or whatever, you put yourself in a competitive mode to do the most for somebody that's not really giving like they should. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You work well with others because you're going to understand your workload. You're going to understand your responsibilities, and you're going to do them and handle them because that's what's important to you. You can have a really nice athletic body, or other people can see you with a nice body. This is Virgo to me represents focus on the body. Okay. It's practical, functional, dealing with health. So you could be someone that takes your health into consideration, or after certain event happens, like a traumatic event or something that happens, that make you put your attention or focus your attention on getting your body in shape, having better health routines, handling your responsibilities, whatever, being more physical, fitness and stuff like that. That's all could be part of like what you develop, because you want to be more in control of the developments in your life and what happens to you, right? You are also seen as a loyal person and dedicated. So people want to hire you. People want to work with you. You could be extremely smart and resourceful as well. So you might be somebody that, you actually take time to see where you're spending your money at. You can have good things and quality things. And I don't know, people could be like, oh yeah, I like your shoes. And you could be like, oh, I got them from City Trends. Oh yeah, I like this. Where did you get this cup? Or I got it from the Dollar Tree. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can have an eye for certain things, and you still have that uniqueness and that individuality as an Aries, but at the same time, you can be frugal, or you could be practical with your approach with it. So people can see you as down to earth and like somebody that they're comfortable with. And don't get me wrong, I kind of feel like you guys can organize something to where, let's say like you are a supervisor or a boss or something like that, and or like you have a business, you can actually put together a team of workers that is dedicated to helping you or working with you and everything. Yeah. Another thing, the 6th house can represent, and Aries being there can represent like competition at the job that you're at work. Because you can come and you can learn the ropes really quickly. So you can have people that like supervisors or people in charge that's like, dang, I'm about to train you, or, to take over my spot or something. And don't get me wrong, people can use you to do that as well if you allow them to. Like, oh yeah, train this person because you're good at what you do. You see what I'm saying? So you complete work tasks, works the best in the workplace, and competitive at work, like I've named already, and can get into disputes that seems like you're warring at the workplace or at work. Okay? But, you're practical. You have a practical approach. You could also be somebody, because let's say you're just like, dang, like, I don't really, with that Aries energy to take you or push you to the next level of motivation, could be to where you're like, I want to have my own work, or I want to make my own money and do my own business, because you can just be at the work or being at jobs could irritate the hell out of you, because you're like, no, I feel that I can't like thrive the way that I want. I can't put my own spin on things the way that I want. So it can motivate you to get your own or do your own thing to make money. All right, so this has been Aries in the 6th house. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back. So, hello, this is Aries in the 7th house, about partnerships, because we're dealing with the 7th house. Here, you could be known by people. Okay, so a lot of people can know you. You could work better with help from other people. So, even this is the thing. Because even though this is Aries and it's like it represents a single sign, it represents independence and individualism and all that, you could still be somebody that have or work better with other people and feel comfortable with working with other people, or at least a partner like a Libra would, and so you could really be really good at relationships, or maybe not. See, it just depends, because this is Aries, but in the 7th house is like the opposition of the 7th house. So you could be deemed as somebody that's selfish and has self-interest and self-motivations by other people and lovers. Because I don't know, maybe you have other stuff to do. It depends on what else is in your chart, to where you put your focus on that. And then being an Aries, I don't really think, because this is the thing, Aries being there, you could feel that you deal with people that have self-motivations and don't really, and this is not all the time, because a lot of you guys can work really good with your partners with that opposition. But at times you could feel that, people that you're with in relationships and just people have self-motivations and self-interest, and they don't take you into consideration, but yet you're willing to take them into consideration. Because really, it's at the bottom line, a lot of what you do that seems self-motivated, you're doing it to help other people. You're doing it to better yourself, your company, whatever you're working at. But in return, it can help other people. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're working extra hours, you're making money, but it's like your partner, you're providing this money and this lifestyle for your partner or whatever. So, and you could be very romantic, or you deal with people that are like romantic and want partnership and marriage and stuff like that. This could be the thing. You could be somebody that you don't want that, but you keep dealing with people that do. Okay. So yeah, this could put you into conflict with other people. You can have lots of conflicts, disputes, competition that arise between you and other people all the time. And you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm not even competing with you. I'm not trying to compete with you. But a lot of you guys, then again, are very competitive. It's not that you're jealous. It's just like you see something and you're just like, okay, I'm going to challenge myself and I can do it. I can do it better. So you can beat out your competition. I'm not going to lie. Because of that, you could. However, I do feel that where this gets in the way, because with this being the 7th house, you rub people the wrong way, then, you can navigate life through the help of people. So just understand that working with people, if you can, could be better. The 7th house, this could be, show your enemies too. But this is not hidden enemies. You're going to know who these enemies are. So it could be like this frenemy vibe that you have with people. It could be like this, keep your friends close but your enemies closer type vibe that's going on with this house. Active competition, competitors in competition or from opposition. So you can feel like you're just like facing oppositions. A lot of times with people standing in your way at conflict. So this could put you in positions, in situations where you have frequent arguments with people. And others could see you as being competitive. They could see the competitive nature in you too, So you could be a hard person to go up against. However, like I said, just maintaining some relationships could definitely be beneficial for you. Others can rely on you to make decisions. So people in your life. Now, don't get me wrong. If you got to break free from certain people, though, because they're hindering you or they're toxic, you could break free from them. Don't hang on to them out of fear because you're like, oh, well, if I don't, how is this going to work? How is that going to work? No, I'm not saying to do that. But other people could rely on you to make decisions and you could feel responsible for these people. And I don't know, because maybe you're in situations where you have to be. And so you could be seen, it could seem like you're always going to war with other people and or your spouse or partners just to do you. So definitely deal with other people, but it could be strong partnerships, strong alliances, relationship oriented, being picked, people being interested in you, knowing people. So 7th house, you can see 7th house fame here as well. First to do certain things and then other people follow. That type of vibe. All right, so thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel because I'll be back. Aries in the 8th house speaks of personal transformations. We got Aries here. We got the 8th house. We have uncontrollable changes that you go through. That could be emotional in nature, psychological in nature. So this could lead to emotionally charged responses. So you can deal with a lot of anger and a lot of fear. But Aries here, overcoming that fear at some point in your life. Finding those motivations to rise up out of emotional turbulence or something traumatic or tragic that you could have experienced. It's just like a set of triggers to push these transformations in this transformation process. So it's like you're moving through this continuous psychological journey that can happen to you at the hands of other people. So abuse can happen here too. But you can overcome the abuse and you can overcome these situations. You can overcome challenges, because here challenges sit, but failing, rising again. Your thing is you're not going to stop. You keep coming out this better version if you handle this appropriately. Now, can this go left? Yeah, because you can get caught up into different addictions, repeating cycles of abuse, all of that stuff. You can have ups and downs with business finances due to psychological or emotional instability. Marriage could be a big time thing, marriage business, because here you are in other things, child support, taxes, loans, getting out of debt. Because here you have Aries been in the 8th house. Maybe even making it big in business. In overcoming your fears. So you're definitely like that representation of like the phoenix rising. I mean, the type of stuff that you can overcome to where people are like, whoa, like, are you the same person? So you can also it can also seem like you're always going to war with your own internal emotions as well. Like that's getting in the way. things that you want to block out, things that you want to hide. And see, this is the thing. I kind of feel like with you guys, maybe a lot of y'all with Aries being here, because remember, Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars rules the 8th house. Like Pluto does too, but Mars does as well. So Mars is trying to get you, it gives you a lot of power. You got a lot of power and a lot of strength here, but it needs you to go through these transformations, or it takes you through these transformations that impact you emotionally to overcome them, to get to that place that you've risen above a lot of your experiences and you've overcome them. And it puts you in a very powerful position. You got to be careful with your power if it's handed to you. Okay. Be careful with the power that you have, because there's a lot of psychological, emotional, spiritual tests there for you. You can rise to be a very powerful person. All right. Thank you. Thank you for watching. This has been Aries in the 8th house. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because you know I'll be back. Hi, I'm back with Aries. Hi. So Aries in the 9th house. Aries in the 9th house is about personal experiences. Even though the experiences may not seem so personal, it's the experiences that we have is acts as like lessons, and when we learn, we grow and we can change our lives for the better. But you can have different experiences than others in your family or environment, or like with people in your local environment or peers that you may know. Due to different things. This could be about culture. Maybe you traveled when you were younger. Like it could be maybe experiences happening at the hands of other people, or you decided that you want to create your own experiences. Well, I grew up in this shelter place, or this place where we didn't travel much, or I didn't learn much about other cultures. So that's what I want to do. And you take control of that, so you can be passionate about your beliefs. You have to understand, other people don't always believe the same thing that you believe, but at the same time, you don't have to be stuck with believing what they believe. And a lot of times, that the different experiences that you have push you outside of that bubble of immediate knowledge and understanding that maybe other people that don't want to expand past that, they have conflict with you because they feel like it's conflict of interest. Because like, take it to where, or come at it from this place to where you were raised in a certain belief system growing up, but yet you learn because of different experiences, being introduced to different cultures, different understandings, different belief systems. You learn like, okay, well, I don't look at what I used to believe or what I was taught to believe as the end all be all. And here's why. That could seriously cause tension amongst the people that don't want to hear that. Yeah. So you travel often, or like to travel, or eventually will. I feel like that's the way that you break free from certain blockages that you have, or that could be presented to you. You have to expand in life. With Aries being here and being limited in thought and beliefs and experience won't allow you to do that. So you could be interested in different cultures and cultural studies. And you can be somebody is in pursuit of higher education. So you can gain now, if this was something that you've seen in your family, growing up, education was a big thing, or spiritual beliefs, religion, or whatever. So you can have access to that as models or role models in your life, and you can still surpass it. Like, you could be somebody that gets 2 degrees or 3 degrees, or someone that takes spiritual. You could be, let's say you're a Christian and you want to remain one. You could be someone that's a pastor, or you could be someone that reintroduces that knowledge, or introduces knowledge, or brings higher knowledge some type of way to people. So it's like, oh, well, you can take verses in the Bible and teach it to people from your level of understanding that makes them see things differently. And this is in different areas of subjects and beliefs. It's not just one thing. So you could be seen as a mentor, a leader, or instructor. And this is something that you can obtain, like literally, if you choose. You can feel at war with a belief system or surrounding. That's why I say you have to make sure that you're not allowing yourself to stay stuck. Because what you're staying stuck in blocks you. Okay, so thank you for watching. This has been Aries in the 9th house. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. So Aries in the 10th house. Aries in the 10th house is a success story. You could be a hard worker. You could be seen as putting your career over others because you're a hard worker. And people may not get your work ethic. And for you, they could see you. People could see you and look at your success story or look at your accomplishments and be like, oh my gosh, how'd you do that? That should have been easy to do, or disregard them in some type of way. And for the most part, they're going to not do that. They're going to possibly look at you as somebody that is successful and they're like, man, how do you do that? And they may want to know how. Okay. However, there are some instances where it depends, because people publicly seeing your rise to something could be motivating for them, or it could be a source of envy or jealousy for them. It just depends. But you definitely work hard to get what you want. And let's just say that, because Capricorn, I do see, 10th house energy as something that can be passed down to you too. So that could be a possibility. But somebody worked hard for what it is that you obtain at some point in time. And you could be the beneficiary. And it's not the 8th house, but you could be someone that gets passed down a legacy or something. And it could be up to you to continue it or to do better. So you consistently build until your desired success is achieved. So you could do a little at a time. Life could happen. Blocks could happen. And you find the answers to them. You continue building. You continue building. So you're working at something over time for the overall outcome of it. It's kind of different in the 2nd house. Like sometimes you won't see what you work for until it's completely done, until years later. Okay. You can build on public image as well. So over time, because let's say people knew you, automatically I think of the Rags to Riches song. But people knew you at a certain place where you was at rock bottom, or you didn't have the type of lifestyle that you had, and you building that up, it affects your image, because people are like, wow, it's like they seen you do it. They seen you face these issues, or they seen you work hard to accomplish something. Now, with your public image, you got to be careful, because it's like people have access to you. They see you, they know about you some type of way. And so it could be easy for your image to get damaged too. And then now you have to find yourself trying to rebuild that image. We see that here. So you could be the first to complete a major goal in life out of people that you know. Or you continue on with something, or you're expected to. It just depends. And you could be inclined spiritually, like spiritually inclined as well. But you could be a person that's able to help other people understand. So it's one thing to have like these spiritual inclinations or experiences, and it's another thing to be able to benefit off of it and to be able to understand it. And it's like some kind of way life or your that energy that makes you want to find out. You're like, okay, nope, I want to see why this works, how this works. So you could be very good at manifestation as well. Like seeming like you took something out of thin air and you built it. You built it over time. You could be an old soul. So you could be very mature in nature, or there's life events that causes you to be this, or especially like over time. Or like you could be young, but you can have an old soul. Like there's something about you that is serious in nature. Like you don't F around. Okay. And you can develop later in life. So don't get discouraged. So you're serious about your public image and reputation, but can feel at war with it also. Because depending, let's say you were passed down something, or your father or somebody is in a certain position and you feel that other people judge you according to them, or you don't really have the room to be who you are, or be who you want to be and live your life. I kind of feel like if you want to go separate from a certain image, don't go, because a lot of times people typically just rebel to where it negatively affects them. Find something that you want to build on your own that pertains to you and who you are, without self-sabotage. And so you can also have the desire and, to accomplish, you can accomplish your desired profession as well. So yeah, this can be, someone, you can overcome a lot of triumphs. I mean, you can have a triumph, by overcoming challenges. Okay. 10th house fame. You can have a public image. All right. Thank you. It's been Aries in the 10th house. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Aries in the 11th house. Okay, so you're like that best friend. Go best friend. My best friend. Go best friend. So you could be popular amongst friends in your friend groups. And you have a desire to pursue and get what you want. Because we look at the 11th house. The 11th house is about getting what we want. And Aries is about our desires. So you can literally get what you want through other people, through your affiliations that you have with people, and your relationships that you have with people. And you can be viewed as lucky, but you actually go after what it is that you want and desire. So people could be viewing you as lucky. Like, oh my gosh, you're lucky. But no, you actually put effort into maintaining certain relationships, or you have this way about yourself to where you find importance in your friendships and what that looks like in your affiliations, and they look after you for it in return. Or you have that desire and that passion to seek out, to go out after what it is that you want, what your dreams are. And when you get it and it seems so impossible for you to get, and you get it anyways, other people judge it, or other people are like, oh my gosh, you're just lucky. And you're like, well, if you want, and don't get me wrong, a lot of y'all are lucky, but I'm just saying, there are times when you go after, you're just bold enough to make that decision to go after what it is that you want. It's not your fault that you have this placement, is what I'm saying. And you can feel that others are competitive with you because of that. Now, you could be competitive with your friends as well. It's like I told people with Aries in the 7th house that's dealing with other people. You could be competitive. I mean, competitive in a friendly way, or competitive. You could be competitive in nature, and that could irritate the heck out of your friends, because they're just like, man, why does it seem like you're competing with me? And you're just like, because you're competing with me. But you can have healthy competition as well. So you can have luck in financial gains, because this is the 11th house where we gain financially. So this could be after you struggle with something. This could be like you manifest it, because this is the 11th house. 11th house is ruled by Saturn and Uranus, because Aquarius is here. House of Aquarius, okay? And you could be a visionary for humanitarianism and see, am I saying that right? So you could have this natural inkling or desire to help other people. Some of y'all could come across some good money and finances doing so. If you could think of something, go ahead and think of something and do it. Okay. But it's like a lot of times y'all can have good karma from the universe that's coming to you because what you help other people. Even if you invent something that you find other people could be like, oh, that's selfish, because they try to pin that on Aries. You can invent something that helps other people. That's humanitarianism. And others can aspire to be like you. So utilize have your affiliations. Grow past affiliations and friendships that you outgrown. But if you maintain these good relationships, you can go to these people for help. Okay? And never be afraid or shy away from living your dreams and going after what it is that you want. Just watch the way that you do it, because you don't want to burn bridges. If you gotta let people go, you gotta let people go. But I'm just saying, because people could definitely be of help with you, especially in your humanitarianism pursuits. All right, thank you for watching. This has been Aries in the 11th house. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back. Aries in the 12th house, here we are. I look at this as the loner. It doesn't mean that you're alone forever. Even when you're around people, you could feel isolated or alone sometimes, or a lot of the times. Your relationships are intimate. Okay? And sometimes it can still feel like people don't know you, but this is because a lot of times you can't pinpoint in yourself like your own feelings and your own emotions and your own subconscious and unconscious desires and how to even obtain that or go after that. So you can feel directionless because of it. Like you don't really know what direction to place your energy in. This could lead to confusion for you a lot of the times. You have spiritual relationships with guardians, angels, and spirit guides. Some people have good experiences with that. Some people not so good experiences that. It just depends. Because here we have addictions like alcohol. The thing about it is, I'm not trying to pin anything on you guys, because addictions could be anything. But a lot of times, people with displacement tries to cope with the 12th house situations and interactions and what you experienced. It could be cycling. It could be things that you take on that maybe someone in your family suffered through, or that causes, because you could be someone that maybe you didn't have addictions, but you seen somebody that was close to you, or some sort of experiences that you had, they did. Maybe a parent or somebody important to you was missing out of your life, or some type of experience that you had put you in a position where you're just like, okay, there's people around me, but I can't really count on them for whatever reason. It's no reason too big or too small. Because all it takes for something to traumatize us is, all it takes is just one thing, one experience that's too much for that person to handle. So you're mystical and you have mystical experiences. This could cause you to daydream, or, kind of tend to be present but not present. You can see things beyond the veil. You can see things that other people cannot. And you don't know how to communicate this or voice this every time, because you feel weird or you feel isolated. So you keep it to yourself and you stay in your own little world. Sometimes you come across other people through online or whatever connections you have that can also understand where you're coming from, and because they had some similar experiences. So this helps. You may not feel the desire to obtain material things or view them as important. And sometimes this could be you battling or fighting depression, but it doesn't always have to be. Because a lot of times you could be like so over a lot of stuff that you see in this world, and knowing more and understanding the truth. You could want to not have to see this stuff or understand this stuff, so you can do things that take you away from here, and not desiring to just gain materially all the time, because you just feel like it means nothing. And this is not every single time, but because you can have, and you could be well off in everything. You can have material possessions and be interested in everything, but at the same time, it could be something to where you're not attached completely to it. And so you can be thwarted by unknown enemies and feel like you always battling them. This could also put you in a position of where you tend to be a loner, because you could just feel like, I don't trust people. People that you held at high regards, or you thought was close to you, or that you felt like you could have trusted, doing things to you acting as an enemy. But you have to ask yourself the question of, should you have trusted them in the first place? And it makes you look at things deeper as well, because you will understand that, well, really, we're a collective body of these spiritual entities, and we're here because, hell, at one point in time in the past life, this could have literally been my enemy for real. Like, this person could have played a different role. Now they're here playing my father or my mother. You see what I'm saying? And it's just, this is silent enemies here. This is the place of silent enemies, hidden enemies. Again, playing the role as the mirror to get us to wake up to some sort of awareness, especially with Aries being here in the 12th house. You know, being burned enough by people, it will definitely activate that Aries. Try to push through those waters, develop spiritually, or get yourself grounded in some sort of way to where you are not stuck by these things. You're overcoming these things. You're living life. You are having a spiritual awakening, let's just say. Because that's what tends to happen to people when they feel they can't trust people, you know, or that, you know, they become aware to what's happening outside of the physical world and physical being that you're more privy to. So you can be protected by spiritual beings as well, because in instances and situations, even whether it's communication that you have with them, whatever the case may be, but there's situations to where you felt like should have beat you out or you wasn't going to overcome in some kind of way that you do. You're a dreamer, and healing can break generational curses for you, and you're very sensitive in nature. So when you heal past adversities, you're breaking generational curses. And you might be the first in your bloodline or your family or a certain situation to do it. All right, so thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. This has been Aries in the 12th house. And I'll be back.